Hey, good morning. Well, at least it's morning for me. I just had a little experience that I wanted to share with you. um, I was sitting here at my desk and I've done my morning reading, and I had all these inked pens in front of me, and I just decided to use them one after another. And man, what a difference that makes in terms of how you feel about the pen. Now, every one of these pens is a great pen. A couple of them I just did a video on the other day, a couple of Scribos. But using them one right after the other makes me feel very differently about them. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. And the pens I used are my Sailor, which I just got. Now this pen, today's a Wednesday. Yeah, today's Wednesday. I'm retired, forget what day it is. Today's Wednesday. So I got this pen on Monday and I dipped it. I only dipped it. Then yesterday, Tuesday, I didn't dip it again, but yesterday, Tuesday, I wrote a 3-page letter. And you know how little I write. So that's a lot of words. I wrote a 3-page letter, never redipped it. This morning, I wrote with it. It's still writing absolutely perfectly. I'll do a longer review of this pen on its own later, but so I just wrote with it, and it's smooth, and this is a medium nib. And even though it's a Japanese pen, I would say it's a true Western medium. So it's smooth, wet, beautiful, okay? So then I picked up my Scribo Viola, which I just talked about the other day, which has an 18 karat extra fine nib. Now this, I would normally tell you that this is a very smooth nib, but next to the both wider and maybe a little rounder actually, the tipping feeling a little like it's a little rounder. Anyway, whatever. Next to that Sailor, this feels scratchy. I mean, it's not in reality. If I went away and came back in half an hour, I'd go, oh, what a beautiful smooth pen. But right after the Sailor, this narrow and stiff nib feels less pleasant. Now, it still is pleasing, even in that. It's still pleasing in what a really fine line it writes, and how such a fine line sort of makes me focus in a way that I appreciate. Then I followed that with my 14K EF Scribo, which 14Ks are softer than 18Ks in the Scribo world. 14Ks are their flex nibs. And it felt smoother, but it still did not compete with this, not even close. But in terms of the nib width, in between the two. All right, so next, I picked up this pen, which I haven't talked about before, because although I got it a while ago, I hadn't inked it yet because I've just had so many pens that I loved and didn't want to unink. So this is the Leonardo Dodici, and it's got the guilloche. It's a chased pattern on there. I don't know if you can see it very well. And it is, it has a gold nib, it has a flex gold nib, and it is a fine flex gold nib. There you go. And I've been, I buy Leos all the time. And because I buy so many Leos, I've tended to buy them with steel nibs recently. So it was really nice to come back and see how great their gold, particularly their flex gold nibs are. And so then I wrote this, and it felt, I wrote with this, and it felt a little smoother than the two Scribos. Now, some of this may be the ink because I have different inks in all of these. So, take that into consideration. But, by the way, what a great pen. So that's going to stay inked for a long time. And then just for good measure, because I was sitting here at my desk, I got out a pen that I don't use very much, but I just inked it the other day to show it to a friend. And so I got out my Nakaya desk pen. Now this has a fine nib, but soft fine, I think is what they call it. So it has a fine nib, but it really writes more like a medium. And it is, it was comparable to the Sailor. And so this makes me think a thing, makes me wonder a thing. So the main point of this is how you can have certain ideas about a pen, or you can enjoy a pen for its certain properties, and then you put it right next to another pen, and those properties change, or they feel changed, or you don't perceive them in the same way. But one thing that I'm kind of wanting to do a little more with is comparing these two pens as well. Because one of the things I found, well, you know what? I will just wait for the longer review on the Sailor. This is just a little thing about how fun it is to sit down and, since you have all these dang pens inked up at one time anyway, actually write with them, one right after the other, and see what a difference they can make. So I'm going to do a quick, I'll do a still shot to end this of the writing that I did. Yeah. Anyway, just want to share that this morning.